Alrighty. Hello, hello. Let us see. Okay, everybody. Welcome. I thank you for being here. Okay, we got a bit of a delay on the stream, but not too bad. So, basically, what I'm going to be talking about in this video, and to begin, I should say hello, everybody, and welcome. In this video or stream right now, slash video, I'm going to be talking about something that I've been working on for a very long time called the Octane Master Course. Now, the Octane Master Course can be found if you, it's not actually out yet, but you can find information on the Octane Master Course by going to epicjcreations.com. So go just head to my website. You don't have to go to slash projects. That's just little addition if you click projects, but just go to epicjcreations.com, that right there. And if you click on Octane Master Course, this will give you all the information. Oh, someone's here in chat. Lewis, I'm going to say Lewis. I'm very bad with pronouncing names. Hi, from Venezuela. Venezuela? Well, welcome, Lewis. Thank you so much for attending. Happy to have you here. What we're talking about is the Octane Master Course. And if you head to this location here, you can learn more information about this. So go ahead, you can check the link in the description. Thank you for sharing us with your knowledge. Not a problem, Lewis. I am always happy to help out. I'm so glad that that you appreciate it. I'm so glad it's been helpful for you. Definitely love talking about Octane Render and love teaching. So I'm so happy to share this with you guys. But the Octane Master Course is going to be, and it's in the description of the video, but and this here really just sums it up. The Octane Master Course is the first fully comprehensive series of video tutorials for Octane Render and Cinema 4D. It's meant for all skill levels and will cover everything you've ever wanted to know about Octane and how it interacts with Cinema 4D. This course will also continue to evolve and update as Octane and Cinema 4D change over the years. Thank you, Master, says Lewis. I don't know if I'm that good, Lewis, but thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you to say that. But this Octane Master Course is literally going to be that. It's going to be a massive library of files that anybody can purchase and buy and have access to. So this will be a paid course, right? It's going to be extremely long, though, and it is coming out very soon. I'm actually down to, I think, about 25 videos left to make for it in the video setup, and there's going to be almost 100 videos, so I'm very close, or there's actually, quite honestly, going to be over 100 once I'm done with it. But we're going to have quite a few videos to put out on this. But what's included with this course is 90 plus videos from the start. Right? Plus, there's probably going to be I might be getting pretty close to 100 at that point. And these videos in this course are going to be available to stream. So I really want to point this out. You are not going to be able to download these videos for this course. This course's videos are something that you're actually going to have to stream online, which I don't think should be too much of a problem. In fact, I thought it would actually be a better option for most people because you don't have to worry about downloading. Quite honestly, there's going to be quite honestly, there'll be about 200 gigs worth of stuff in this course. So probably even more than that. So you're probably going to be very happy that you don't have to download it. You'll simply just open up the page and stream it through the platform that I'm using. I will be talking in detail also about the platform that I'm using in a little bit. Right now, though, I want to mention that what these videos are going to be covering. They're going to be covering everything you could ever want to know how to use an Octane render. I'm talking all the basics, very basic intro stuff where we just start talking about what is Octane render, what can it do, how do you use it, and then just basically opening up the Octane interface for the first time and just getting acquainted with the Octane Live Viewer and introducing you to materials and render settings, and then expanding on that into more advanced topics like material creation, the node editor, Octane lights, Octane HDRI environments, as well as talking about very specific features that many people do not have documented anywhere on the market right now, such as infinite Octane environments, creating an Octane HDRI environment that is completely seamless, that supports reflections. And I can kind of demonstrate this for you right here by scrolling down. Here's some examples of some stuff we're going to learn. Here is a render that I did, and this is being lit with an HDRI. And that is right, this is being lit with an HDRI, and we have reflections on our floors right here. But you may notice there is no reflections of that HDRI showing up in our floor. This is completely a seamless infinite environment that we have here. We have our reflection showing up in the floor. It's infinite. We see no seams in the background, yet our HDRI does not show up in that. We're going to be talking about all that in this course. Here's another example of a render I did. You can see again, we're seeing reflections on the floor. We're seeing shadows, but it infinitely goes off with no seams. We have an infinite environment effect. This is something that a lot of people do not have documented anywhere and will be all taught in this course right here. On top of this, this was actually textured and painted by me in Substance Painter from following a really awesome tutorial. Recommend checking out the Substance Academy. They have some really great educational videos on that. And basically, I'll also be talking about how to paint stuff and make stuff in Substance Painter and have it exported over. So I'm not going to be teaching using Substance Painter very much, but I will be talking specifically on the proper process and procedure of exporting out materials that you make in Substance Painter and getting them to work with Octane Render and Cinema 4D, so that'll be another big topic. I'll also be talking about, as you can see here, hair. So any type of hair shading and rendering and stuff, getting stuff projected on hair, doing all that stuff. That's all going to be talked about, making different colors for the tips of the hair versus the roots and all that kind of stuff there. I'll also be talking about subsurface scattering, Octane scatter, having volumetrics and fire, and like subsurface scattering effects like the gummies that are here, and the different like little gumdrops and the lights that's shining through it, and making seamless tileable materials, and which some of these materials are actually going to be part of this this course here as well. So you're actually going to have access to learn how to use like the different procedural methods such as noise that's being used on this, work with the bump maps, the normal maps, and make it seamless using something like the triplanar node and different projection algorithms. Many different things like that we'll be talking about. Also specular materials, making diamond-like effects and how to work with that. And again, there'll be a lot of stuff covered. We're also going to talk about external plugins such as Turbulence FD to create realistic kind of like cloud effects or realistic fire. And yes, this is a render inside Octane Render, Cinema 4D, using Turbulence FD as our fire simulator. So look how well we can render this. So I'm really going to talk about how to render fire and smoke and volumes and fog, and all that stuff's going to be covered in this. Like you can imagine already, this is very in-depth, and I'm very happy with how this turned out again. A Slowbo video just came in. Hey, Slowbo, welcome to the chat. What is this again? This is basically me talking about my Octane Master Course, which is going to be coming out. Is this a free series on YouTube? Asking Glenn. This is, first off, this is an Octane Master Course series, which will be basically a tutorial series that is a very comprehensive video series that's going to be talking about Octane Render in Cinema 4D, and it's meant for all skill levels, meaning if you're a beginner or advanced, this is going to have education for you. My whole point with this is going to expand and grow for anybody who buys it. This is for every skill level. I don't care if you've just picked up Cinema 4D and you don't even know what Octane Render is yet, you can follow along. I have this in a very structured order from A to Z, where to begin and what to go for. So it's designed if you don't know anything, but if you do, if you're already an Octane Master and you're like 3 years in, and I'm going to guess not, but I'm very interested. Oh, yes, and thank you for bringing that up, Slowbo. I'm sorry, Glenn, at the moment, or I don't plan on making it free. This is going to be a paid series. It will not be on YouTube. I'm actually, and this is a good time to talk about the platform now. If I move down, and feel free to check out this link yourself. You can check this out at epicjcreations.com. And just go to epicjcreations.com right here. Just go to epicjcreations.com, click on Octane Master Course, and you can get all this information right there. Now, again, we're also going to be talking about displacement, some other cool things, emitting light. This is another example of some cool stuff we can make. But pricing. What's the price? Yep, Glenn, that's a big question. The pricing is going to be a membership. Now, don't get scared. This is not a subscription. And I'm going to go ahead and just read this off right here. This is not a subscription. When you sign up for a year, you get access to all the current videos, scene files, materials, and even, that's right, a Discord group that you're going to have, and which I'm going to be talking about in more detail later, and whatever is added during the 12 months your membership is active. So your membership that you purchase is going to last for 12 months exactly. Now, unlike a subscription, when you get to keep all of that forever. If you don't decide to renew your membership, you simply don't get updates or new material that is produced. And there are a few channels in the Discord group that are for active members only, but you will not be kicked from the Discord group. You'll always have access. So again, what you pay for and what you get during that year of membership, you keep forever. Now the cost, this is what Glenn was acting. The cost will be $299, so $299 for the first year membership. Now, that may seem like a little bit of money, but trust me, this is going to have everything you could ever want to learn about with Octane Render. I'm also going to incorporate some scene files, and it's even going to come with, I can confirm now, one free material that is this, I don't think it's this material. I might offer this material for free. There's another really cool stone material that I'm offering. It's a full PBR material. But what's really interesting, though, is I realize that not everybody is going to want to pay $299 every single year. That's a lot of money. Now, for the first year, you might say, okay, this is worth it. I'm getting over 200 gigs worth of assets, over like almost 100 videos, like over 30 hours of content, which is going to be growing. Not to mention, your membership includes access to my private Octane Master Course Discord channel. This is a place where anybody who purchases this course has access to, and you'll have live support from me if you have any questions or any issues with the course. So if you ever get stuck on anything that is Octane Cinema 4D related, definitely hit me up in that, and I can help walk you through it. Not to mention, you'll be part of a big Octane Cinema 4D community where you can just hang out, share ideas, and if you have any questions, again, I'll always be there to help you out. Also, because this is a membership, I will be updating it throughout the year. That means if Octane version 4.0 comes out, boom, I'm going to be updating that platform and getting everything set up and ready for you guys. So if Octane comes out and says, okay, the material for the diffuse material, for some reason they'd say, let's rework the whole thing. I will go through and update the diffuse material tutorial to reflect the changes of the latest version of Octane. So you'll be covered throughout that whole year as far as Octane learning is concerned. If Octane 4.0 comes out within this year, boom, I'll make changes and have that set up for you, which I really do hope that Octane version 4 does come out within this year because they're lagging a bit behind on that. Now, for second year members, this is the great thing. In the second year, you already have all those other things that I've made, right? Because you're never going to lose those. You're going to keep them forever. If you decide to renew your subscription for a second year, you're not going to be getting as much stuff as you did on the first year, right? You already have majority of all my videos made. You're basically just keeping access to the live support plus all the updates that will be coming in the second year that will be coming with Octane version 4 and anything that further on, so on, etc. And anything new I happen to put out. So for the second year, you will get a 50% discount and only have to pay $149.50. So you'll get half. It'll be half off for the second year membership, and you'll still get the live support, you'll still get updates. And then for the third year, you'll get 75% off the original price, which will come out to only $74 for that entire year. And basically, you can keep paying at this point $74 a year to basically have continued live support of Octane Render and updates. This means for the next 3 years at least, you will be able to stay on the top of any Octane information. We can all pray for C4D Octane 4 this year. Yes, Glenn, I definitely feel you on that. I am definitely praying for that too. Really hoping for Octane version 4 this year. Like, definitely really wanting that. But the pricing's not over yet. This course isn't out yet. We have early bird pricing. For everybody that buys this within the first launch week of the Octane Master Course, it will be priced at $50 off. This brings the first year member price to $249 instead of $299. So instead of $300, you're going to be paying $250. This special pricing will be your base for second and third year discounts. Now, this is going to expand with you more than just your first purchase. This means if you purchase your first year for $249 as an early bird, right, you will only have to pay $124 for the second year and $160, or not $100, or just $62 for the third year and every year after. So you will be basically part of the early bird program where every single year you're going to be paying less than a similar person who bought the course at the default price who is at that year. So because your first year you only had to pay $250, that means your next year you only have to pay 124, because 50% off of 250 is 124, and then you'll get 75% off of the 250, which is 62.25. So if you act and buy within that first week, you get a compounded new cheap rate that only early bird people will be able to have access to. So extremely powerful. Now comes the big thing. If you want to get information about this course, you want to be notified about this early bird program, you want to be aware of it, check out my Gumroad page, because now we're moving on to the platform. And before I will go ahead and we can click our Gumroad page, I'll take you to here. Oops, it doesn't look like, oops, I have the link is actually incorrect. Don't worry, I'll give you the legit link right now. I fixed it up here. The link to it is at the top of the page. If you go ahead to Epic J Creations, this one here will take you to the place to my Gumroad page where you can go ahead and enter your email address right here, and you can go ahead and start subscribing and get signed up for newsletters. So I will be putting out some newsletters very soon. Do not worry also. I do not spam. I haven't actually sent out any messages yet, and I've had my Gumroad for over a month. So I only put out messages when there's something new. I do not spam. I'm not going to repost the same message over and over again. If I have something new, I put out one email that something new happened, and I'm not sending that again because I don't want to spam your guys' inboxes, because I spend all day dumping emails because I get spammed a lot, and I don't want to do that to you guys. But if you go ahead and put your email address and subscribe to my Gumroad page, I will send you an email when it launches, so you will be the first people to know about that launch, and you'll make sure that you don't miss out on that awesome $50 off early bird subscriber deal. Now, also, let's go ahead and talk about this Gumroad platform. Some of you might not have heard of Gumroad yet. You might not be aware of it. You might not be too certain, like, what is Gumroad? How does it work? Is it safe to use? So I have this little write-up I kind of did here kind of explaining it. The Octane Master Course will be sold through Gumroad, which is a very powerful and easy-to-use system where thousands of artists and creators sell products and online courses. It's one of the easiest and most secure places to make online purchases. They fully support PayPal along with normal debit and credit cards. If you already have a Gumroad account, you won't need to make another one to purchase this course. So you will have to have a Gumroad account for it to work. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give you a little bit of preview. Let's head to over to my my little store here, and I'm going to switch my mode right now to my buying mode. So this is what's going to look like for you as a customer. So here's a few products I've already purchased on Gumroad, and just like my course, they'll show up in your little library here as after you've signed in. And here is an Octane Studio Tools from Joseph. I'm not going to try and pronounce his name. I'm going to definitely mess it up. So it's from this this guy right here who's done a really awesome job with this Octane Studio Tools kit. It's completely free, and I can download it. Now, you can also, besides downloading files, have access to actual video material. So to kind of give you guys a little early access sample, only for the people watching right now, and anybody who watches this video later, I guess, too. So I'm going to switch back to selling, and what I'm going to do, and this is some of my statistics here, what we're going to do is let's go ahead and take a look at the Octane Master Course. I'm going to go to products. I already have a few products for sale right now, and here is my Octane Master Course. Now, I'm going to say right now, this is in heavy early beta. There's only like 5% of the actual stuff in here that's going to be in here. So there's a very small amount of stuff. I still have a lot of work to do. I think I got like 80, I have like 90 videos I still need to upload into here. So it's definitely unfinished. But the way this is going to work is I'm going to do a pretend purchase. Let's go ahead and do preview. So when this course is available, and you actually have access to start buying this, what you're going to see is you're going to see this here with probably some information. Right now I just have Let's Master Octane Render in Cinema 4D. We're going to have a better description than this, and probably something that's going to link to different channels. I'm also going to have more information on the training videos and everything that's included in here, and hopefully I'll get this font issue fixed so we can actually have my font be a little bit nicer on here. But anyway, what you're going to be able to do is you're going to go ahead and click subscribe, and this will give you an option to pay. Now, you can pay with either PayPal or you can pay with either a credit card. This is just a fake credit card that it has punched in here. It's not a real one. It's like a test card. I don't have to pay myself. But you'll put your email address in, and then what you do is you'll pay with whatever method you would like to pay with, and then this will be a subscription for 12 months. So you're agreeing to is to pay $2.99 yearly. Now, I don't think it's set to auto-renewal, but if it is, you can manage the auto renewal settings in your account. And if you ever do get automatically an auto renewal or anything going on like that, and say within like 2 days or something after it kicked off, you're like, oh crud, I didn't mean to re-auto subscribe to this again, that was an accident. Don't worry. If you forgot to punch in your code or anything, I can check your account. I'll see that you're already a 1-year subscriber and that you shouldn't have paid $2.99 for your second year, and I'll give you basically half the money back that you paid to basically count as your 50% discount. So don't worry if the auto renew does happen. We can make that work, but you can definitely check and turn that off and make the decision. Totally understand that. And this will renew, this will be for 12 months. So for 12 months, you'll have full access and updates to all these files. Now, what is this library going to look like? So let's go ahead and do a fake purchase right now. Say we just bought it. Hooray, you're now a member of the Octane Master Course. And let's go ahead and view the product. Let's see what this actually looks like. Now, this, again, is a very weak and light sample of what you're going to have access to. But what you're going to see is something very similar to this. This is the Gumroad library system. Now, from here, you're going to have access to PDF files, and these PDF files are basically going to separate the course's videos into different subsections. So in the beginning, we're going to have our overview with a series of videos that will be listed here. Then we'll have lighting with a series of videos under here, and here's a few samples of those, and say, okay, I want to learn about lighting. I come into here. I'm like, I want to learn about some lighting principles, so I have lighting available here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to look through lighting, and also the numbering and the naming of these videos is not set in stone. These are going to be updated and improved and changed. Don't worry about that. This is not going to be named 18, 19, yada, yada, yada. This is going to be named, it'll basically be the lighting section, and then it'll be video 1, 2, 3, 4, et cetera, et cetera. The materials section, video 1, 2, 3, 4, et cetera, et cetera. So say I'm like, ooh, using Octane lights. This is a video that I'm interested in. I want to watch it. All you have to do is click watch. It'll automatically open a new tab, and within here is going to be the online streaming platform. So you just click play, and I'm going to pause this for a second real quick. I do not have my sound turned on in OBS, so I'm going to go ahead and unmute my desktop audio so you guys can hear a free little sample of what this is going to be like. Now, I want to point out to you, you have to actually scroll down, and then you can see here's like your typical player that you're used to. So you can click full screen, and we've now full screen. And if I hit play right now, in this video, we're going to be learning about light. We can scrub to the beginning. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. In this video, we're going to be learning about lights inside Cinema 4D and Octane Render. Well, and basically inside here, you'll have access to that whole video, and I'll scrub through and see what we're talking about. I'm going to go ahead and mute this so you don't hear me talking twice. You can see here I go over all the basic principles and stuff of getting to use lights, talking about surface brightness, textures, distribution, using IES lights, and so much more. I go into all this. I also talk about, in a video I just recorded a little bit ago, there will be a part 2 to this particular video, which I have to edit in, and that will basically talk about how to create a literal point light in Octane yourself without having to download any plugins, just natively right in. How did you arrive at your pricing structure? Asked Glenn. How did I arrive at my pricing structure? Well, that's actually a really good question. What I ended up doing, I'm going to go ahead and pause the video here. And then whenever you're done with the videos, you can always go back and hop back in here. Now, but before I start talking about pricing again, I do want to mention this is a continuously uploading and updating and refreshing drive of content. If this using Octane lights video, if something happens to the lights and Octane completely changes them or does anything to change them whatsoever, I can edit this video or record a new video and upload it in this spot right here, and anybody who's a current member will have this automatically updated for them. That means if they go to bed and wake up the next day and hop on here and go back to watching the lights video, the most up-to-date version of the lights video will be here. So you can always refer to this repository, if you're a current subscribed member, as the most up-to-date basically educational stuff in the Octane Master Course. This will constantly be getting refined, grown, and expanded. Grown's not really a word, but it'll constantly be grown and expand into basically anything that Octane or Cinema 4D happen to go to in a direction. Also, I realize that sifting through videos isn't always the easiest thing when it comes to trying to pinpoint the information you want to learn. That's why I'll have a very robust PDF system that you can actually download that, or you can read it live on the site. And our PDF files in heavy work in progress right now. I'm going to have to get this worked out a bit more. But it's going to be a list of the entire course overview. I'll have every segment of that. We'll have the video section. We'll have multiple segments for all the different topics, such as lighting, materials, advanced, plugins, you name it. And each video will have its own place in here, such as the camera overview. And this is a perfect example. In this section, I cover the cinema camera tags and walk you through autofocus. And this is a little demo right up here. But basically, I'll talk about what is in that video, what you can expect to learn from that video, and some of the key takeaways, as well as if there's any project files referenced there. For example, overview of the camera imager. And here, I actually talk about in that video where I want people to actually download LUT files to actually practice using their own LUTs inside the camera imager. So I give them a link to this really great website that gives away free LUTs. So I give you links to add to that. So if I ever in the video say go to this link here, check it out, just go ahead, check out the PDF and find that video, and I'll have all that information available for you there. Now I want to mention too, for those that don't know, this is very small to look at, right? Well, with Gumroad you can actually increase the appearance of this by scaling it up. But just clicking this up here, we can scale our text up really, really big or scale it down. And of course, as always, if you don't like reading your PDF on Gumroad, totally understand. I click the back arrow to go back. What you can do is you can download this PDF and it will be available to view in your default PDF viewer. So here's in Google Chrome. I have it downloaded. We can click the link on here, which takes us to basically Lutify Me, which is the place where I get the LUTs that I demonstrate in those videos. So the links will work. Go back arrow, and you can use this in whatever you'd like to view it in. I'm going to go ahead and close this, and we'll head back over here. Now, to answer your question, Glenn, how did you arrive on your pricing structure? I came up with the pricing system. I'm going to back up to my epicjcreations.com. What I did to come up with a pricing structure on this is I was really trying to figure out what would it be worth to somebody to have access to all these videos. And I compared other people's pricing, what are other people charging for courses, what do other people teach in those courses, and how valuable do I feel like my content is worth. For me, it was a combination of I'm going to have a lot of videos, over 100 as I keep pumping more out, because I'm going to continuously do more than update videos. I'm going to add videos. When you buy right off the bat, you're going to have at least 90 videos. There should be around 95, maybe 98, something like that, but bare minimum 90. And then we're going to expand easily over 100 plus videos. That includes like these bonus videos that I'm going to be talking about, such as making realistic diamonds, using X particles, having particles fly out. That's all going to be in the course where we talk about actually rendering particles and X particles, and that's all part of the plugin section, but actually a little bit more project based. Instead of just learning how to use this and what does this mean, we're actually going to be learning on like bonus videos that are more project oriented, such as how do we make a diamond texture. Instead of just talking about subsurface scattering and refraction, we're actually going to be specifically developing those things we've already learned about in the course in real-world scenarios to make like a realistic diamond type effect here, and it kind of expand and scale on that. I'm going to grab a drink of water really quick. There we go. I talk a lot. Get a little thirsty. But we're also going to be talking about making realistic potions and different stuff like that. Whereas we're going to take the different material aspects and rendering algorithms and stuff that we've learned, and our workflow of how to export out object buffers and have multi-layered files and compositing and just all that stuff, and bring all that in and do project work. So that'll be a lot of fun, and it'll be very educational. We'll also learn again about displacement, like that's how I created this here in that ground. And I also, to add to it, the reason I ended up coming up to the pricing of $299 is because there's a lot of things that I teach in this course that nobody else teaches at this time. And basically, I feel like that gave my course a bit more value. Perfect example, nobody teaches how to render fire like this. Like, I'm not trying to brag or say that I'm amazing, because I'm not amazing. I'm a regular person. I still make mistakes. But I put a lot of time in particularly trying to do things in an Octane manner that most people basically just skip Octane, saying, oh, Octane can't do this, I'm not even going to bother to render that with it. I've stuck with Octane for over a year now and have really pushed it and really wanted to do these effects with Octane and not just bail on it like a lot of other people I've seen have done. So, for example, I've learned to create really good fire and smoke effects, like we're going to be learning about. There's nobody that teaches this. The effect of creating an infinite floor with reflections like this here. We can see just a little tint of blue, just as these little bit of reflections come off of this lantern here. This is something nobody teaches anywhere. Infinite floor effects like that. Multipass compositing in Octane Render. Nobody talks about that at all, and that's actually part of the process that creates this infinite floor effect. We can separate our reflections, our shadows, our background, our different lights can be separated, object buffers. A lot of this stuff is just not covered or talked about. I'm going to sneeze real quick. I'll be right back. There we go. I muted my mic real quick. I was sneezing. But again, this stuff is just not documented. Oof, another one. I do keep rambling. Fog like this. This particular render doesn't look that pretty. I kind of rushed this one out. I have to agree, hardly anything in Octane and TFT for sure. Oh, thank you so much, Glenn. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's actually really frustrating for me when I wanted to render Turbulence FD and with Octane Render. It was really frustrating actually figuring out how the heck to get the dang thing to work. I was like searching over and over all on the internet. I'm like, where is this stuff? So there was literally nothing out there on that. And also, environments. Look how we have clear view of the rocks and stuff in the front, which don't actually look too pretty. I need to make a better render to demonstrate this effect. But as we go off into the distance, it fades away into fog. Nobody teaches how to make, and I mean nobody that I can find out on the internet teaches how to have legit fog that fades off into the background. Nobody that I know of does this effect, period. I haven't seen it in any Octane renders, and if they have, they've usually done some type of post effect and done it in post. But this can work with animation. And I'm also going to talk about exporting out a depth pass, a Z depth pass, so you can in After Effects create fake volume depth. But this is real volumetric fog. It's legit volumetric fog with lights bouncing around, which is pretty freaking cool. And on top of that, I also don't have it in here. I can't believe I didn't actually list it. I have another really good render that shows where I show about how to do volumetric lighting in Octane Render, which nobody teaches out there on YouTube or anything, except, I'll actually rephrase that. There is one person out there that teaches volumetric lighting using like the HDRI environment and such, which that person, I'm not trying to brag or anything with. The only one that I know of at this time that has a video out on that is me. I actually put my own video out. So if you guys are interested, we can check out my YouTube page. And I'm just going to click up here, go to my YouTube homepage. And on my homepage, I am live right now, but I have a really great how to project an image with lights in Octane Render. And this particular render, let's go ahead and mute myself, is where I literally do this really cool render here, where I show you how to literally project an image with lights. We're going to be talking about this in the course as well. And again, nobody talks about how to do this anywhere except, well, of course, I do on my YouTube page here. So you can get a free kind of little sample of my teaching method if you watch this video. But again, I wonder what I did with the render of this. Here it is. Here's a little sample of it. Again, we're going to be learning how to create like volumetric lighting, like really good. And we're going to get rid of all those stinking little fireflies, those little bright little hot spots that pop up, especially in renders like this. You can just get rid of all of those. We can clean it out, and I'll talk about how to do that, how to clean those things up. But again, I really feel like my pricing is merited for what the course has to offer. But at the same time, my course is in very high pre-alpha. It is not completed yet. I still have videos that I need to put out. I have my entire PDF algorithm needs completely typed in and reworked, and I have a lot of fine-tuning and cleaning to do before this course goes live, even for early birds. So the pricing and everything still could possibly be flexible. I'm interested in hearing from you guys if you feel like this is fair compared to what you've seen elsewhere. And again, be aware that that big $390 or $299, $300 pricing is only going to be for that first year. And after that, you're going to be getting hit with big discounts. So you don't have to worry about paying that much year after year after year. And of course, If you want to buy just 1 year, that's completely okay. $2.99, you get 1 entire year of updates, access to the Discord channel, live support from me on anything you get stuck with along the way, and on top of that, you still get access to the course, even access to all the course content, all the Discord and everything if you stop subscribing. You will be limited to a few channels in the Discord, like the help channel. The only channels you'll be taken out of in the Discord, Octane Master Course channel, would be simply the ones for live support. So you're only losing access to live support. I like pricing to be more selective towards what you want rather than having to buy a lot of the basic stuff. That is a good point, Glenn, and I thought about that. I actually thought about separating the course's content into multiple segments, like multiple pieces. But what I'm actually going to do quick is I'm going to pull this over here, and I'm going to pull up a Google Sheets that I have here that has a lot of this Octane Master Course content kind of marked out. What I thought about doing is I thought about separating it up into more specific areas like lighting only topics, material topics only. But the problem was I ended up bumping into issues where so much stuff that I viewed as like simple, like I could divide my course up into like say, okay, this is a beginner series and then comes the advanced series. A lot of stuff that I deemed beginner and advanced kind of melted together. They intertwined. They became part of the same thing. Like there's so many things that I feel are simple to learn, but are so advanced and powerful. And it just felt so hard to divide my course up into different segments to kind of do it that way, especially to separate lighting from, say, materials, because some of the lighting, like lighting with material, is kind of part of material or lighting. So again, I felt it was just really difficult to say, okay, what do I sacrifice and not give somebody when they go to buy this? That was my only issue with it. But what I'm showing you guys right now is my actual Octane course outline. Now this looks really messy. This is not something that you're buying. This is only for me, but I'm giving you a sneak peek. This is basically my plan for all my videos. So I have them divided up into, this is the overview section. We're going to be talking about what is Octane. Then we're going to be talking about why should you buy Octane, Octane versus other render engines. We're going to have a huge kind of overview of that. But for users that are like, I already know what Octane is. I already know what Octane Render is. Why would I want to go ahead and just watch those videos? I don't need to. So for those users, they can go ahead and skip all of this and hop down to the lighting, the materials, the camera, the nodes, the advanced techniques, or maybe there's a few things in the basic overview you're interested in, such as this one right here, a radiance mode. Hey, I know a lot about the Octane render settings and the camera imager and stuff, but a radiance mode, that's an interesting, what is that? Let me check that out. So then you'd want to watch that video. But if you're already into all that and you already know that, you can go ahead and skip right down to the advanced section and really start knocking out these more advanced topics. Now, this is another big thing. All of these videos have been made in specific organized order. If you don't know anything about Octane Render and you're very new to this and you don't know how to begin and how to start and what to do, all you have to do is start with video 1 and work your way down to video 2, video 3, video 4, and do them in order. I have made every video in a structured outline that introduces each topic, and I only assume, like perfect example, if you're on video 14, I'm only going to assume that you've already had a basic overview of the materials if you're on a video that is past this section. When will the early bird sale start? Asks Karen Kim. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. The early bird sale will begin hopefully sometime soon. I do not have a launch date, but if you want to go ahead and get access, go ahead and head to epicjcreations.com, which you can go ahead and check this out right here. There it is. Go to epicjcreations.com, click on Octane Master Course, then go ahead and just click on this Gumroad page, the coming soon topic area. And if you go to my Gumroad page, you can go ahead and sign up your email address right in here on my Gumroad page, and I will send out emails to everybody who's a subscriber, basically to be alerted when that Octane Master Course goes live. So if you want to get like day one launch details and access and basically get as updated as soon as possible when the course comes out, go ahead and put your email in there, and I'll make sure to let you guys all know. I will go ahead and give you a little bit of a time frame. My goal right now is pump out about 2 videos a day, 2 to 3. Yesterday I did 3 videos. Today I did another 3. And my goal is to have the course's videos completed before August. So before the end of July, I want to have all the videos done. And then there will be a little bit of time where I have to go through and edit the videos and stuff, which under this timeline, there's a completion level. Videos that don't have anything written down yet have been recorded yet. Editing means that the videos have been recorded but need editing. And finished means they're done. And uploaded means it's part of my uploaded section over here. That means they've actually worked their way up into this folder, which means they're basically done, ready to be put out. But also, you can see we have a lot of videos in this section with tons more to come. Here's my bonus tutorial section. This is where we're going to be talking about stuff like making realistic potions, making realistic earth, making a diamond texture, making realistic neon textures with an object. Big thanks to Scott Benson for that. He was a big help for me to kind of understanding that. And of course, then we have the Octane and X particles section. We have rendering X particles with Octane, using motion blur with X particles, Skinner objects in Octane, rendering X particles trails with color, may I add, too. I'll be showing not just how to simply have the trails rendered, but have the trails rendered with the trails having their own color and random colors. And I'll even talk about, this video here is actually might not even make it in. It was how to render X particle smoke with Octane. It was like a hack. It wasn't originally designed for that. And that was back in X Particles 3.5. So with the new 4.0, there's actually way better workarounds. So I'm probably going to ditch this video and switch it out for another one. So this has total upgrades and expandability ready to come out. But again, this isn't even all the videos. I have another section. Notice this part under nodes, node editor settings, quick tip, and setting up your node editor. I'm going to actually show you how to make a node editor layout and all that. Then we dive into the node videos topic, and this is just for me. This is not for anything anybody's going to be buying. I'll have all the node videos organized into their own section under here, and they're all going to be labeled and all that. But this is just for me. These are basically all the nodes that I have been organizing out and been teaching. So done represents they're done. Editing means they need editing, and nothing on there means they still need to be recorded. So we have the blending material. I still need to record that one. But I talk about every single node. Every node will have its own video that I go through in full, complete detail. There will not be a feature that has been missed unless it's a 2-part series where I cover that feature in another video. Now, I did combine black body emission and texture emission under one video just because, quite literally, they're exactly the same thing except for one has a temperature slider and one doesn't. So I figured that wasn't worth having you watch 2 separate videos for. I also cover medium nodes, absorption, scattering, creating realistic subsurface scattering effects, all that kinds of crazy stuff. If you are interested in learning more about, let's head back to my website, more about the different cool things we're going to be learning, you can check out my Instagram. And if you go to my Instagram, you can see all the different things that I make. And this is all Octane Render. And all, like, this T-Rex here has, like, pretty good subsurface scattering. I feel like going on the nose here. He could a little bit better. So Glenn just asked a question. Does this mean your days of posting free tuts on YouTube are gone or are over? Absolutely not, Glenn. I do not want to bail on that, and I 100% plan on still putting out free content on YouTube. Right now, my YouTube has gone up to, let me check out my page. My YouTube has gone to 2,772 subscribers, and I am thankful and appreciative for every single one of them, and I do not, absolutely do not plan on bailing on them. I still want to advertise my course, of course, to them, but I still want to put out free content. So anything, and I actually have a bunch of videos planned for YouTube, and I'm going to be publishing more YouTube videos very soon. As soon as I can get this Octane Master Course out of the way, as soon as I get this done and I have more free time, I'm going to be able to put out more free videos. In fact, even if you don't plan on buying the Octane Master Course, say you're just like, I can't afford it right now, that's 100% okay. I have at least 4 videos planned to be published to YouTube that'll be coming from this course. I am not sure which ones yet, but I'm going to pick 4 videos from my entire course and have them set as free samples that will go to my YouTube page. So even if you don't plan on buying it, you can still benefit from the course by trying out those free videos. And if after you try them out, you feel like, hey, this is some pretty good information, I'd like to learn, I'd like to have some more access to this, you can go ahead and buy the full course whenever you want. But again, the early bird pricing is for the first week of its launch. So I must do want to make sure that you're aware of it. It is only for the first week. But I'll be talking about all kinds of different things like in my course, like for example here, the export workflow of Substance Painter, importing out those textures, exporting them out from Substance Painter and bringing them into Octane Render, how to use them, how to create a proper input source in the Octane nodes and properly get them read, subsurface scattering, making realistic looking fruit renders and stuff like this right here, getting the subsurface scattering to come through the skin, yet still have some roughness on the edge here and make this look actually editable. Again, we'll be also learning about like subsurface scattering here with the fruit, and I might actually put out, after we learn about subsurface scattering in more detail, as a bonus video underneath the bonus tutorial section. I'll probably put a video out that'll be talking about just like texturing these raw fruit scans that I got from Blank Repository. Heavily recommend checking his site out. It's pretty dang cool. So I'll probably talk about texturing fruit and stuff like this in Octane. Like again, this scene here, we'll have volumetrics, we'll talk about rendering with different lights and angles, and I'll also even be talking about, I need to mark this down before I forget it, but I'm going to be talking about how to actually bake out your own HDRIs in Octane Render, and yes, you can do that. You can actually take any lighting setup that is in Octane Render and bake it out as a legit HDRI, which is pretty friggin' cool in my opinion. So I figured out a little rig for that, and I'm going to be putting that totally in the course. Sharing how you can do that, and I'll have you download it. We'll be talking about rendering particles and objects from X particles. For this example here, we're spitting out all this with X particles, and as the particles go on, they change color. In this case, they're actually changed from this like kind of bluish absorption to like this light emitting kind of transparent texture. So again, we're going to be learning about X particles, emitting particles, trails, rendering splines, and just doing all that kind of crazy stuff, all with all the different plugins. I'll be talking about too about the proper way to export out all of your renders. I'm talking proper structured export algorithms. Do you want to do a PSD file? Do you want to do a JPEG, a PNG? I'm going to be talking about what you should be using. I'm going to have different export algorithms and different ways of exporting out your rendered images from Octane and Cinema 4D, specifics for if you're going to do an image, just a single image, or an animation. Tons of recommendations on that. And I'm also going to be talking about compositing, and I don't even have these videos marked in here, but it will be in there. Compositing your finished render in After Effects. Whoops, I'm losing my place here. Compositing that finished render in like in After Effects. I think I'm possibly going to also talk about compositing Octane renders in Fusion. I'm not 100% sure on that. I might do that. And also compositing Octane renders in Photoshop, of course. You must have that in there. Also, we'll talk about that Lightroom, or not Lightroom, that Substance Painter export into Octane. Like this was all painted with Substance Painter, hand painted. We'll have also talk about how to use Octane Scatter and scatter tree elements and stuff and different renders and lighting and different effects like that. This is a very bad example, but I'll show it anyway. I'll talk about how to render fire in Octane with Turbulence FD. This is a horrible fire. I'm going to be making much better fire. As you can see, the fire that came from here was a whole lot better. This simulation I put a lot more time into. This one I didn't. So putting some effort into your simulation goes a long way in making it look real, as you can tell. Again, we're going to be making like clouds. Here's like a little E-cloud that I made. Needs to be redone. I have a new logo now, so I need to get that worked out for that logo. Working with environments and stuff, and just creating like different lens effects. Fake volumetric lighting is another big thing I actually want to talk about, and that's what I learned how to make in this particular render. This lighting here was done in Octane, and it is not actual volumetric lighting. This is fake volumetric lighting, which means it rendered really dang quick, and it wasn't the most realistic, but for a subtle effect like this, it did the trick. There's no post-processing going on here in Photoshop or anything. This is all rendered in Octane with Octane's own built-in post-processing for like that lens glare there and this this fake kind of volumetric lighting effect there. We'll also be talking about like making potions and stuff like this and saving your own material presets and you name it, we're going to be doing it. Creating kind of like proper motion blur to create proper looping animations, GIFs, I always pronounce those incorrectly. But just many different things. Again, here's some types of like clouds and stuff. We're going to be learning again, volumetrics, Stairway to Heaven, volumetrics is an interesting little effect. Different material creation, different renders, again, subsurface scattering, weird stuff, all that kind of thing like there. Rendering, working with X particles, doing all this crazy stuff. Again, check out the my Instagram for more information on that. Oh, this is a good one of subsurface scattering. But again, we can check out all that in detail. And I also am going to have information on this subsurface scattering stuff there, more diamond, things like that. But I also want to talk about how to use textures in animations. So like right here, right now we're projecting this crab onto this wall, but I want to actually teach you guys how to actually make this be a legit video that plays in your own fake theater in 3D. So this crab would be a literal video. The crab could be walking around on screen and it'll literally function and work with that projector. So talking about, and I actually have a video out on YouTube already on that, how to actually load a video animation into Octane and actually play it. So I have an animated texture, which is pretty cool. I also want to teach and talk about, I just blanked on what it was. Oh, motion blur and tons of different effects here, like how that all works in Octane and how to get that to render correctly. And there was one more. I just literally blanked on it. I cut myself off. It was another feature that I really wanted to talk about. It'll be in the course, but I can't. Oh, of course, we'll talk about hair and stuff. This is like a lot of cool things. Different animations and stuff. I'll probably throw this one in too as a bonus. This won't be on launch, but it's like how to render Lego water. It's kind of random, but it's pretty dang cool effect. It actually renders super quick in Octane Render. It's amazing how well Octane handles this. Like, it's pretty cool. It's very cool to say the least. I already have a tutorial out on making this gummy texture here, so you can check that out on my YouTube as well. Man, I'm blanking. What was, this was a fun one. There was something else I was going to teach. Let me backtrack what I was looking at. Maybe I'll bump into it. Grass, substance painter, volumetrics, subsurface scattering, cars. What was it we got? What was it? Smoke, something with turbulence FD. No, what was it I was going to say? I completely blanked on it. Oh, well, I'm sure it'll come to me. Point is, oh, okay, I almost got it. Something to do with modeling. Oh, that's what it was. Okay, it came back to me. I'm going to talk about different displacement algorithms that you can use in Octane. Like, perfect example, character modelers and stuff will actually model out a character. And this might be come out with the launch, or I might add this in later. There's so much stuff to talk about, actually. Which is why I'm actually really excited to have a membership system so I can just continuously keep pumping content out for you guys as time goes on and just basically keep sharing these videos. And the reason I wanted to do a membership system is because I'm still going to keep doing my free video content on YouTube, but these tutorials are starting to take up so much of my time that it's financially becoming a priority for me to start charging a little bit for these. So if I could have a subscription system where the money comes directly to me instead of YouTube, because I do make some money from YouTube's advertisements, but I get about 0.03 cents per view, which is very small, and I don't want to sound greedy. It's just I have to start thinking of actually being able to support myself a little bit. So I need to focus on that a little bit. And just getting some decent money. And I don't want to try and overprice you guys and be like money grab or anything. Like, I really want to pump something out. My goal in the end is still to help you guys. I really want to share what I know. I just want to make sure that I can continue to keep doing that. And the best way I can think of to keep being able to share all this knowledge that I've learned with you guys out there on my YouTube and anybody else who might bump into this and you guys on the stream now is to do like a membership system where people just pay yearly, and that money will help keep me afloat and give me the possibility to start pumping out more tutorials instead of me having to basically spend all my time working at a different job where I no longer would have time to make tutorials. But before I forget, there's this really interesting workflow where you create like a character. Say we created this horse, and you wanted to animate him. Well, if he's this highly detailed to animate and stuff, he's just way too high poly for that. So a typical workflow is you'd make a low poly character, animate him, and then put a displacement map on top of him, subdivide him, and then have that be the high poly version, which literally just moves along with your low poly. The problem is there's two ways to do this. The problem is that sometimes the Octane displacement doesn't always work so well. So I show you how to do sculpting and stuff in Cinema 4D, make that displacement work on top of Octane Render. And again, it's not perfect because Octane's displacement isn't a true displacement. So I show you a workaround on how to get that to work with the actual displacement deformer inside of Octane Render, the actual displacement deformer that Cinema 4D uses, and get that to work with Octane Render. So I teach workflow stuff, even though it's not specifically doing stuff in Octane. I teach workflow stuff in Cinema 4D that solves problems that Octane can run into. So again, the end result is about getting you the possibilities to use Octane Render and have it work for things that you want it to do. But at this point, I have been rattling on for almost an hour. Thank you so much, you guys, for all watching. Is there any more questions? Because I'm totally down to answer any questions that you guys might have for the course. So if you have anything, definitely let me know. If you have any questions too, even after the stream's over, go to the Contact Me page on my website. Check it out. If anybody wants to have access to my website, I'll post this in chat for everybody to see. epicjcreations.com. You just go right there and have at it. Just type in your name, email address, and you can send me a message. Contact me on YouTube if you want. You can do all that. Exciting stuff. Very impressive and quality work, says Frank Farkash. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Frank's my uncle, everybody. Everybody say hi to him. He is my uncle, and he's been very supportive throughout putting my course together, so I appreciate it, Frank. Thanks again. All looks cool, and I'm hooked. What about customers' request tutorial selection? That is such a good thing to bring up, Glenn. Thank you so much for pointing that out. That completely slipped my mind. There is totally 100% going to be tutorial requests in the Discord channel. So in the Discord, right, I'm going to have a special area set up where people can vote and request for new tutorials to be created. So basically, if Octane comes out with 2 new features, like the new noise reduction feature that's coming out, and the what was it? The new Octane. Say they come out with the Octane glossy material. A new glossy material came out or something like that. I'm going to put it down to a vote. Do you want me to teach first the glossy material, or would you guys rather have me teach the noise reduction tool? And if you guys vote, you want the noise reduction effect to be taught first, that's where I'm going. My teaching and my direction and what I teach is going to be based off of what you guys want. So paying members will always have priority. If I'm always out to help everybody, but the paying members do get priority. So if my paying members want me to make a tutorial on this in Octane, that's what I'm going to teach, and you guys all have access to that. Even if it's not a video I'm planning on to make. Like, say you guys are all like, I just really want to learn how to make Lego bricks into water in Octane Render. How do I do that? I really wish he would teach this. You guys have priority. So if you guys want me to teach that, that's what I'm going to teach. You guys are the customers. The customer is always right. So again, paying into this course is going to give you access more than what you just have right now. You're going to have access to a future repertoire, however you pronounce that, of files and different things to have access to. So you are constantly going to be able to grow and expand with this course. You're not going to be limited to what it has just right now, even though right out of the gate it's going to have a lot of stuff to keep you occupied for a while. It's going to continuously grow and expand with you. So I like to view this Octane course as a literal companion, that like your literal Octane companion, that it grows and follows you around. It can literally help you through your entire Octane life. So any more questions? Like I haven't talked about the Discord very much. There is a spot about here, continued updates, additional videos. I'll have scene files. This includes free PBR Octane materials, 3D models, VDB volumes. Just in case you don't have Turbulence FD, I'm going to have VDB volumes to make sure that you're still able to learn and follow along and create realistic looking smoke and fire without actually having Turbulence FD or the ability to create that. And for the Discord, Discord channel, a place for all members of the Octane Master Course to hang out and ask questions, complete with live support for me on any Octane-related questions. As a member of the Octane Master Course, you'll be part of a group that determines what I will release next. If majority of the group wants me to make a video first on Octane version 4's new noise reduction system instead of another feature I'd planned, that is what I will teach first. So again, you guys always will have priority on that. Any other questions? Feel free. You can definitely ask. We're almost at an hour right now. But again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask now. Or again, feel free to contact me here. Contact me on Instagram if you want. I don't check that as much, but I usually do contact best on through here, through the little contact me email section here. But again, any questions for anybody else in the chat? I'm going to go ahead and grab a drink of water real quick. There we go. But feel free to read over this. And again, make sure you go ahead and head to my Gumroad page and get signed up, because you can go ahead and get registered so you can be get all the information ahead of time when I launch. You can take advantage of that early bird pricing, that $50 off that will compound every single year afterward in your next membership. So if you pay $250 right out of the gate, which is $50 off the regular price, you will basically only have to pay half of the $250 instead of half of the $300 normally, and that $50 off will go year after year. It continues on to that. So the benefits of the early bird pricing is something that literally will continue with you throughout your entire Octane Master Course life. This is not something that just happens right now. It'll continue, it'll grow, it'll expand, and you'll be literally locked in at the end with a $62 a year pricing that's only going to be for early birds. I can tell you right now, even for Black Friday sales and stuff, I do not plan on giving more money off than this. So this is a huge discount right now. But again, I don't plan on going any cheaper. Can't tell what the future holds. What I will say is I'm committing to 4 years of tutorials for you guys. So I'm going to do this first year, and then I'm going to do the next year. So that'll be the year where you pay $124 for those people part of early bird pricing, or that'll be the year where regular members will be paying $149. And basically, I'll go another year, which is the year where regular members will be paying $74 for that year, $62 for early bird people, and on the final year, the 4th year, everybody will just be again paying the 3rd year price, which is $74 for regular people and $62 for early birds. But basically, after that point, I don't know if I'll continue or not. I may continue. It depends on how many people get involved and how many people want to continue to keep purchasing and rolling with the course. If it does, all looks cool. I am hooked. What about customer request? Oh, I just read that part. When purchasing, will we have to buy for a few years? Oh, nope. You only buy 1 year at a time. You do not have to buy them in bulk. You only buy 1 year. And this is the other big thing. That's actually a really good point you pointed out, Karen. I completely forgot to mention this. This is your status as a member. Like, say your first year membership is $300, right? Even if you decide after the first year to say, okay, I don't want to renew. I just want to stick with what I have. I don't want to do the second year. I know I get a 50% off discount, but I'm just kind of like, you know, I feel like I'm good. I don't feel like I need another year. Say at that point you just say you want to keep with the $299. You did that for 1 year, and then you're done. You do not have to pay for the second year because you didn't renew your membership. You still keep everything you paid for, and you keep your status as a first-year member. Meaning, say 3 years later, you decide, you know what? I kind of want to come back into the deal. You'll still keep your status as a first-year member of $299, which means when you come back, you'll only have to renew your membership at $149, and your second-year status will be locked in. You could take another 2-year break and come back and say, then you only have to pay $74 because you're a third-year member. So your status is always locked in. It's never forgotten. So you'll always be able to come back. So you don't have to buy them in bulk. You only ever have to put down that amount of money for that year, and you can always come down and put the rest down for that next year whenever you decide to do it when that year comes up. Or you can go ahead and skip a year. You could say, I don't really feel like buying this year. I'm just going to take a break. Maybe you're going on vacation or something happened in your life. Like, I know that happens to everybody. Maybe just one year happens to work better than another year. You can go ahead and take a year break on that and then come back to it the next year. So you don't have to worry about paying for something you're not going to be using. But again, all the original stuff that you purchased will always stay with you. So all these 90 plus videos, all this stuff that's being taught quite literally right here, that's going to be part of it on launch. Now, a lot of the bonus tutorials probably won't be included on launch. They'll be updated. But that said, for those first people who buy in the first year, everything you see on this page plus much more is going to be added in this year. So your membership will basically include all of this throughout that year. And after it expires, you still keep it. You never lose what you paid for. And quite honestly, that's been my big thing I wanted to push with this, because I don't like subscriptions. I don't like people paying for things over and over and over, and then as soon as they stop paying, even if they've been a member for like 10 years, they lose it. I just don't like that. I like people to be able to keep what they paid for. It just feels so money grabbing to me, and I just didn't want to do that to you guys. I wanted you to be able to keep, even if you can't afford to continue, all that stuff that you've been paying for. But at this point, we're about over an hour. Is there any more questions? I think we got it about wrapped up. I think I covered most of it. Feel free to keep checking back to the site too. I'm planning on updating it. I'm thinking of adding a how many videos left little area under the coming soon, just to keep people updated on what the heck is the state of this course, how many videos left until it's done. But again, hoping to have this video getting ready to be published by August. I'm really hoping for August, maybe sooner. But I definitely plan on having all the videos recorded before August, in this July. Been really pumping them out. And then there's just the editing part, which just takes time. But if nobody has any more questions, I think we might call it quits for the stream for today. Just because we're a little over an hour and 6 minutes in, and I do plan on streaming more, and I'm going to be streaming a lot more often too. And also, Glenn, that should help for you too, with his question on are you still going to be streaming? Are you still going to be posting YouTube content? And I'll absolutely be doing that, because I'll be streaming a lot more and just sharing my knowledge in Octane a ton more. As soon as this course is out, I plan on streaming a good bit more. Actually, setting up a streaming schedule, hoping to stream once or twice a week on a consistent schedule. That's going to be open for any questions. So that will help too for anybody who has Octane questions that can't afford the course. We'll be able to get some Octane information that way. But the easiest and most straightforward and quick access way of learning Octane is always going to be, though, a course under this current setup is going to be by actually purchasing the course through Gumroad. Excuse me, had to sneeze again. But I think it doesn't look like we have any more questions. So I'd like to thank you all so much for showing up to the stream. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate the questions. I appreciate the support from everybody. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you, Frank Farkash. And thank you, Lewis. Thank you, Lewis. And thank you, Slowbo, if you guys are still here. Really appreciate the support. It really does mean a lot to me, and I am so, as you can tell, very excited for this course. I cannot wait to put this out. I've always loved to teach, so to have a continuous platform that I can upload to people like this is very exciting for me, so I'm super excited for that. But thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'll let it sit for like 10 more seconds, see if you guys have any more questions. Like, again, if you have any questions, definitely feel free to ask. But, of course, if you miss a chance to ask a question here, don't worry. Do the contact me area here. Or go ahead and ask in the comments of the YouTube video that you're watching right now. After I finish streaming it, this video will be saved and uploaded. Feel free to add a comment to the below video. It will, I usually, anybody who's been a subscriber here knows that I respond to all my YouTube comments, almost all of them. So I do try and keep up with that. So again, if you have any questions, let me know. But thanks again, everybody. I really appreciate it. It looks like we don't have any more questions for now. So I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. But stay posted. We're going to be getting more information soon. And keep your eye on the Octane Master Course section on here, because I'll be updating this pretty regularly. And go ahead and make sure you're signed up through my Gumroad page. Subscribe there so you can make sure that you get day one notifications. So I can send you day one notifications when the course comes out, along with more information. And speaking of that, I will quickly end with any time an update is made to the course, like say the diffuse material was changed, and I went through and I said, okay, diffuse material, I reworked that whole video or something. If that happens, I will send out an update to all members. It'll be like an email update. And all members that have that course purchase will get an update saying, hey, I just changed this video. I updated it to include this, this, and this. So you don't have to worry about being kind of like, hey, he updated this video. I had no clue he did that. Or I didn't know that this new feature was covered here. Like any updates or additions to the course will all be emailed to you guys to make sure you're aware of what's been added. But again, thank you so much. I really do hope you guys enjoyed the stream. And really do appreciate all your support. It means a lot to me. And I can't wait to see you guys later. Thanks again. See y'all later. Night. Or not really night, but, well, it's basically getting pretty late for me. But see you guys when the course launches or whenever the next stream happens to go out. Next stream should be happening pretty soon. But thanks again, everybody. See y'all later.